Marcel, where are you going with that disc? You are not putting that on again. Marcel, okay, if you press that button, you are in very, very big trouble.
Attention. Everybody stop what you're doing. It's time for The Unwritten Rule, a Mizzou sports podcast brought to you by the Believe Network, alongside Payton Haverman and Kenny Van Doren. Here is your host, Jack Knowlton.
Welcome back to The Unwritten Rule, presented by FanDuel. Today is Friday, I almost said April 7th, August 7th. We'd be a lot further away from football if it were April 7th. It's August 7th. When you are watching this, you find unwritten subscribers. There will have been football played because it's the Hall of Fame game tonight. Peyton, Kenny, are you guys going to watch the Hall of Fame game when we get done with this recording on this Thursday night?
I'll watch it if it's on the TV in the living room at dinner. Otherwise, I'm not watching it, no.
It might be the best quarterback competition in terms of names in recent years for this game.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Kenny Pickett versus Carson Beck.
Yeah, in terms of names, that's a pretty good duo.
So those are pretty notable ones, yeah. I mean Kenny Pickett, he's had a funny career pretty much since even going back to his Pitt days. I don't believe we will see Darius Robinson. I did try to do him as my jersey of the week for this purpose, and I saw him on a list of projected players that will not appear in the Hall of Fame game. I've seen some anguish about the rookies. People are upset that the rookies aren't playing in it. So maybe the Hall of Fame game isn't.
Marvin Harrison Jr. should have to play in this game.
He didn't have to play in the Cotton Bowl.
Nope. Good that did him.
So hopefully everyone enjoyed that. We do have football. That means football is officially back, and Mizzou football is getting closer and closer. So much so that we have to squeeze our last three looks at the opponents for the 2026 season because we've had some other stuff pop up, and we still need to do our position previews and season previews. And I'm going to put a preamble to that. I did discover today the Google Doc with our hot takes for each position from the 2025 season. And that will be getting referenced throughout the 2026 position previews. So get ready for that.
Two people on this podcast were big Xavier Lloyd fans.
There were some scorchers
I'll
in there.
let you guess which two.
He's an NFL wide receiver.
Not me.
He's an NFL wide receiver.
Yep.
There are some scorchers.
How many catches did he even have at Mizzou? One?
Two.
There are some scorchers in there, so we'll get to that, but we'll get to this first. We've got the last three opponents to talk about. They are Georgia, they are Kentucky, and they are Oklahoma. That is how Mizzou will end the year. We will go in chronological order, and we won't be as thorough as I sometimes have been when we've just had one and even two teams to explore. But the first on this list is Georgia, which I did have some time earlier on Thursday to dive into, mostly for the fact that maybe it made me realize that I might have spoke too soon with my Ole Miss hot take that they're going to win the SEC, because good Lord, this Georgia team is quite reloaded is probably the best way to put it. Mizzou, by the way, will play the Bulldogs on November 15th. That will be either an afternoon or an evening game. That is on the road in Sanford Stadium in Athens, Georgia. Again, November 14th. If anyone forgot, Georgia went 12-1 in 2025. They lost to Alabama in the regular season, then beat them for the SEC title, and then lost to Ole Miss 39-34 I was going to ask you guys this. Best college football playoff game aside from the championship? That one?
Well, Miami, Texas A&M.
That was a stink fest.
Tulane, Ole Miss.
Yes, there you go.
Second half, JMU, Oregon.
Didn't JMU cover that? Wasn't there something that they covered, or maybe it was Tulane that covered? That Sugar Bowl was great. Georgia did lose that game. They lost 8 guys to the NFL draft by my count. I can mention some later, but this team is really loaded. Peyton, I will start with you because you have been the one to commit on our FanDuel Best Beats segment. Not that it's a hard commitment to make to Georgia winning the SEC. When you look at them up and down, do you think they could win the national championship? Do you think Mizzou will probably lose to the eventual national champions?
Yes, because hot take. Yeah, what a scorcher. I am high on Georgia. I think they're probably at worst. Honestly, no, I do probably think they're the best team in the SEC. They return just about everyone. Our lads only actually has them slotted for 4 newcomers in starting positions. They return, I think, a guy that really got overlooked a lot, but I am quite high on Gunnar Stockton. I think if anyone's going to kind of maybe not, he's not a headline grabber like Trinidad Chambliss and Arch Manning in terms of SEC QBs, but I certainly think he's maybe not quite as talented, certainly can be as productive as them. They return Nate Frazier, who was a very good running back for them last year. He had 947 yards, 5.5 yards a carry. Gunnar Stockton, I'll tell you what, he also led them in rushing touchdowns last year with 10. That's pretty crazy. It's not perfect. I mean, they lost their leading receiver, Zachariah Branch, to the draft. CJ Allen, their leading tackler, also gone. I trust Kirby Smart to really figure it out and reload this roster. They do have Ellis Robinson back as well. He's a redshirt sophomore. Led them in interceptions last year. They're as loaded as ever on both sides of the ball. I'm not going to speak to their O-line. I don't know enough about it. I know at times it was kind of shaky last year, but I trust Kirby Smart. I trust the talent on Georgia. I think they're a complete unit. You can make all the jokes you want about their off-the-field activities, but they are quite the unit when they're on the field.
This is where I can actually fill in the gap for Payton, because I actually did learn a lot about this Georgia O-line. But Kenny, I will let you speak first. This Bulldogs team is very, very good and has a lot back.
Yeah, I would say like 24 of these guys probably have experience playing or starting in some kind of capacity for this team. And when you look at even like transfer portal rankings, this team doesn't rank very high because a lot of its transfer portal moves were just keeping guys in Athens and not letting them leave. Some names that stand out, Isaiah Canyon from Georgia Tech, Clemson's Khalil Barnes, Jamarly Riddle, Dante Dowell from Kentucky. I mean, there's a lot of these names that, have made impacts at the Power 4 level that are on this Georgia team now, and Canyon could be that number one wide receiver for the Bulldogs at the end of the day. I think that's just a big plus for this team. 2 straight, it was back-to-back years, right, that Georgia exited in the Sugar Bowl, not even just last year, but the year before. I think that probably
lost to Notre Dame.
Yeah, so I think that leaves a sour taste in your mouth when you're Georgia and what you've accomplished this decade already. I mean, you were the team to beat those first couple years in the 2020s. Now it's just getting back to that, and that this team is retooled in a way that they retained a lot of the guys they needed to, and then they filled in those gaps in the transfer portal, which is what the transfer portal really should be for some of these big power teams like Georgia. It's not expecting as much turnover every year unless they're just sending guys consistently to the NFL like they did in the 2025 draft.
Yeah, I mean, they've done it the old-fashioned way. Like it's kind of telling that we're to the point when you see a team like Georgia only have as many transfers as they did that you're like, wow, that's a little unusual. Just speaks to how deep we are into this world now of that's how you rebuild your team. But they've kind of done it the old-fashioned way. I'm into this point with the Stockton stuff. Like, I feel like all throughout, as we've done this process and looked at just the SEC as a whole, I'm very distrusting of the quarterbacks in this league in general. I feel like so many of them are in new and different situations or unproven. And even when I look at the top, like you now have Trinidad Chambliss, who, yes, was a great story last year, has only played 1 game with his head coach as his head coach because of all of that weirdness. And, I'm stretching for a lack of continuity argument there. I'm sure he'll be fine. Arch Manning, same thing. You're relying on, or not the same thing, but like I kind of have a thing with him. Like it took until the back half of last year Could there be a regression? Again, I assume no. I think he's more talented than that. But then I get to Gunnar Stockton, who was just solid all season long, guided them to an SEC title win. Like, he's right up there in terms of, the best of the best with quarterback play. And when you pair that with Mike Bobo, you pair that with Kirby Smart. If these home run hitters that they got, Canyon in particular has to be really good, because that is where you look at a whole is, they lost Branch, they lost Colby Young to the draft as well. I believe London Humphreys is back. He was third on the team in receiving. And then Canyon, like, are the guys he's throwing the ball to Stockton going to be good enough? But he is more than capable of leading a team, I think, to a title. I think Payton nailed it, where he's almost like weirdly underrated to me.
Yeah, he doesn't turn the ball over. 5 interceptions this past year. And you got to remember, people were very worried about Gunnar Stockton coming into the year. There was the whole saga with Georgia maybe being like a sneaky contender for Fernando Mendoza at some point. I'm not saying Gunnar Stockton was a better option than Fernando Mendoza, but he still wound up being, I think, probably better than a lot of people expected. Certainly a dual threat. You can almost, if Mizzou fans are looking for like a more relatable comp, it is almost kind of like the Brady Cook situation. Gunnar Stockton is a better quarterback than Brady Cook. But if you're looking for like a comparable situation, you could kind of look at that.
Where my mind goes with this, and I'm sure Georgia fans, Georgia reporters would have a better understanding of how these guys stack up, but Georgia's won these national championships on the shoulders of guys that aren't super toolsed up quarterbacks. They're just guys who are consistent. Stetson Bennett won 2 titles at Georgia. Just being that guy, just being a guy that you can count on. And I think that's what Gunnar Stockton can do. It's year 2 now as the primary guy, as the starting quarterback at Georgia. Last year, he threw for almost 2,900 yards. He had 462 yards on the ground, 10 touchdowns on the ground to go along with the 24 through the air. I think those numbers will continue to improve. We don't want to look like we're just on this show just to keep boosting up Georgia. It's not like Georgia needs any boost or, positive publicity. But the best word I think to describe Gunnar Stockton is just consistent. And I think that's what Georgia's going to thrive on. To this guy, like Payton mentioned, does not turn over the ball. I think 5 interceptions. I don't know if this is among qualified quarterbacks, but is ranked 16th last year. I don't even know what the numbers would look like for a qualified quarterback last year. But that's top 20 in all of college football. The guy just doesn't give up the ball. I think that's how Georgia wins games. They have all these crazy skill players on offense. If they just have a quarterback who's consistent, doesn't make those mistakes, they're going to win football games. That's what Georgia does.
That's really, you can just say that about their whole team, which is so funny because they're so not stable off the field. But on the field, when I watch Georgia, it's just always a team that's in control, very much undaunted by any situation. I remember last year they went to Neyland and were trailing almost that whole game and really did not look like the better team for much of it, and stuck around the whole time. Gunnar Stockton made a huge throw towards the end of the game. They wound up taking that game in overtime, if I remember correctly. I think that especially reflects in the defense, and go figure, Kirby Smart, obviously a defensive mastermind. Glenn Schumann, their defensive coordinator, I'm not going to lie, if Mizzou had lost Drinkwitz, he would have been at the top of my list for who I wanted them to go get. They've always got dudes, especially in the trenches on that D-line. There's athletic dudes up and down the line. I know Elijah Griffin, an interior guy for them, I believe. He's supposed to be fantastic for them. Like I mentioned earlier, Ellis Robinson, I'm a big fan of his. KJ Bolden has been a playmaker, so certainly a formidable and competent unit, and that can be the worst type of thing to face rather than just a high ceiling team, because more often than not, you're going to get a very, very good effort. You're very rarely going to get an off night from a team like Georgia.
Yeah, I think if you want to make the argument for Mizzou in this game, as you're turning it back to that, is do they just not have the guys at receiver? Is it just unproven enough? Does Canyon not translate and give Stockton a true weapon, and is Frazier just kind of an okay running back, not a great one? What happens there? Payton mentioned the dudes on defense, which I think is going to make up for any of those potential errors on offense. Here's the other thing that puts Georgia over the top for me. If you look at their depth chart on our lads right now, they have a true freshman starting on the offensive line, Zakai Helton, who I do remember from covering recruiting. Is a very highly touted player. Always scary when you see a true freshman on the O-line, right? And that maybe that's someone to target for Mizzou. The other guys who are coming back, I found a CBS article that still rates Georgia as the top offensive line heading into next season. There are other guys who are coming back. Are their center, Drew Bobo, who is a second-team All-SEC guy. Dontrell Glover, a guard, 750 snaps as a true freshman. Juan Gaston, 500 snaps as a true freshman. These were guys starting on the offensive line as freshmen who are now all back as sophomores and are only going to have one more year of experience playing in the college football playoff. That's why I think, that's what I think propels Georgia for me. That even if Mizzou doesn't have to worry as much about the skill guys, I don't know that they're getting after Stockton with this offensive line. It's pretty crazy good. So
Stockton was sacked 18 times last year. Certainly not the most consistent, but I mean, geez, some of those numbers you kind of listed off. It's scary, especially with the D line at Mizzou that I think has question marks.
Yeah, so I think I could speak for all of us. So we chalk that up as a loss for Mizzou. I think it's pretty safe to say this does come off the back too, right? It is Texas and then right into Georgia, if my memory serves on the schedule. So, you talk about if Missouri is tracking well on the season, maybe you head into that game with only one loss. Let's just say maybe you're fine with a Splitsville on those two if you really want to try and be a playoff team.
And if you're looking for the quote unquote trap game idea, I will give the week before and after. They're at Ole Miss, Georgia, so that is a big game at Vaught Hemingway. Then they're at South Carolina the week after.
So yeah, that's a good point.
South Carolina's not good, so
yeah, that's a tough. If it was like a ranked team or a highly ranked team, you might be more inclined to.
Yeah, and not Shane Beamer's team.
Not Shane Beamer's team. Let's shift gears from Georgia to let's just say a little lower on the SEC projected standings, according to Phil Steele. We're going from a team tied for first to a team he projects to finish 15th, and that is Mizzou's second to last opponent in the conference slate, the Kentucky Wildcats. That game, October 21st, that will be either 5 or 7 p.m., so a night game for Mizzou against a new-look Kentucky team that, of course, has Will Stein as their head coach. Now Will Stein comes over after a couple of years as Oregon's offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. He's also at UTSA. He started out at Louisville, where he was also their quarterback, which I totally didn't realize. That'll be a fun feature for someone to write come Kentucky-Louisville game time. The former Louisville QB, now Kentucky's coach, was also the head coach at Lake Travis High School in Texas and a GA or a quality control coach at Texas as his background. But he is leading a Kentucky team trying to build back up a little bit. They went 5-7 a year ago. That included ending the season with 45-17 losses to Vanderbilt and 41-0 to Louisville after they had previously won 3 in a row. A lot of newness to this team. Georgia did not have a lot to look at in the portal. Kentucky, according to On3 Payton, 34 transfers in from the portal. It will not be your 2025 Wildcats taking the field next year.
Yeah, and our lads has 8 new offensive starters from the portal. The 3 exceptions being right tackle Malachi Wood, tight end Willie Rodriguez, and wide receiver DJ Miller. Those are 3 returners for the Wildcats. Everything else is a transfer, according to our lads. So 4 new O-line pieces, a new quarterback, a new running back, and 2 new receivers. That's kind of how I think it had to go. Will Stein, of course, is one of those hotshot OCs. We'll see how he translates. Obviously, it's going to be a bit of a rebuild project. I don't think you can count on a whole ton in year one, especially in one of the big 2 conferences in the SEC. It's a tough ask. It's kind of crazy to just look back at Mark Stoops a couple of years ago seemed to have the A&M job locked up. 2 years later, he's fired at Kentucky. I don't want to say, I'm not going to guarantee a win here by any means. I'm very interested to see how Stein is able to get his version of an offense to work. I mean, Kenny Minchie is not just a no-name transfer. I mean, that was a big deal that he was able to get him to come to Kentucky. So CJ Baxter, he had a bit more of a down year last year at Texas, but certainly still a lot of talent there. And they do have a fair amount of retention on the defense, certainly a lot more than the offense has. So I'm intrigued by this team. I think you'll probably find out. We'll probably know a lot about them by the time they come to Mizzou, by virtue of them being the second to last game of the season. But I'm not going to just go slam dunk, it's a Missouri win. It would be very disappointing going into the season to say that it isn't. And I do expect it to be a win. But I am intrigued by this Kentucky team with all the new faces, new OC, a lot of new life in the program.
It wasn't the best year, I don't think, for Texas running backs last year. We talked about it, you and I, Payton. A lot of turnover just in that department, just in that position group for the Longhorns. CJ Baxter last year averaged 3.6 yards per carry. Going back to 2023, 3 years ago now, he had a pretty good year, 659 yards on the ground and 5 touchdowns. So get him in a better offense, new offensive line, new look around there. Maybe there is some positives that come with that. What I've kind of learned about this Kentucky team, and I don't know if it's from the standpoint of as much smaller than you think maybe Kentucky is compared to some other SEC schools. Fan base is large as hell. I think that's the best way to put it. It is that entire state almost. There's some riders in the Kentucky area that think that this Wildcats team could make some noise, could sneak out a couple SEC wins. And I don't know if that's just because, it's in every industry, every market. There are some reporters that lean one way or the other and think a little bit higher about the team they're covering. I don't know if that's just with Kentucky, just, how big it is, but I think that's something that kind of stood out to me. And there's some other, notable guys like Nick Anderson. I don't know if you guys remember him, Oklahoma and LSU, wide receiver transfer now with Kentucky. I mean, there's names on here that we know, even in the recruiting game right now. I mean, Kentucky's throwing a lot of money around. They have a 5-star quarterback coming in. They have some high-end guys they were chipping away at. They were going after Myson Johnson-Cook, running back at East St. Louis. I mean, so Kentucky's trying to make waves. They're trying to get back to that Big Blue Nation, trying to get some winning ways going on the football field. And I think no one's more confident in Will Stein right now than Will Stein. We saw what he said at SEC Media Days, saying that this team is going to do well because of me. And I mean, that's the confidence you probably want to see sometimes. And you just want to see something different from coaches. And I think he's got this kind of chip on his shoulder and this swagger to try to do something in year one.
Payton, does it help your confidence with Mizzou or hurt it with Mizzou in this game? The fact it does also come near the end of the season, where if you're talking about a new coach kind of figuring it out, maybe he's got it rolling, in whatever form that takes. Maybe it's a 7-win season, but if he's a team that can do some damage, maybe he knows what he's got in his guys versus you play him right away in SEC play and you can knock him off.
I mean, it's kind of impossible to tell right now. Because they could very easily be 3-7 entering that game, or maybe they are like a 6-4 or even a 7-3 by then. I think those would both be very good marks for Kentucky in year one under Stein. It'll help for Stein to kind of know his team by then. Hopefully an O-line that has 4 new pieces has gelled by then. a bit more. I was looking at it. Kentucky's QBs last year were sacked 29 times. That is abysmal. By the way, Zach Calzada was one of their QBs. Cutter Bawley's the other. He's now at Arizona State. But I don't know. It's hard to. It doesn't really do anything one way or the other for me at the moment, just because I got to see how Kentucky actually looks.
It is interesting you point that out with the sacks, because when I scrolled, sorry, I muted my mic by accident. When I scrolled through their when I scrolled through their transfers and just looking at where on 3 rated them, which again I get is arbitrary, but is based off of however much experience they have at their former place. They did get 3 guys rated as 4-star transfers who are all expected to start on the offensive line, and we're all at Power 5 schools. Lance Hurd from Tennessee, Tegra Shabola from Ohio State. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. And Colton Price from Baylor, who are all expected to be. Price is expected to be the center for this Kentucky team. So, if you're talking about Stein and his confidence, maybe he's confident his guys can at least block the quarterback. Now, we've talked about it with some other teams. You get that many new starters trying to gel at the same time in the offensive line. It can be scary. But gelling in any way, even if you have a bunch of returners with a new coach, is scary. So it's kind of like you said, Payton. It could go sort of six ways, any which way you want to look at it. But I do like that for them, in theory. Adding that many blue chip, quote unquote, offensive linemen in the portal. Kenny unmuted. I thought he was going to yell at me for.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I have a correction. I thought Jake Norrott was a 5-star. He's a 4-star, but he's 5th. He's the 5th best quarterback in the nation. 57th overall recruit in the Rivals industry ranking. 24th right now nationally. The top 25 is a pretty good thing. You're at 25 commits. So Kentucky's trying to do a lot of things right now on the football field.
If you're looking for anyone to make an impact on defense for Kentucky, I do apologize because I don't know a whole ton about their defense, but I have seen Tavion Gadsden, their D tackle, on a fair amount of preseason lists. He seems to be kind of we need to throw a Kentucky player on. This is kind of their best guy. Let's throw him on there. So I would expect that. And again, this is a defense that has a whole lot more continuity than the offense. So I don't really think Kentucky was losing games that much because of their defense last year.
Their defense has always been a little pestery. Super excited that my guy
They've had
Jordan
some great corners over the years.
Yes. Yeah, some good corners.
Hairston, Lonnie Johnson. Lonnie Johnson was a personal favorite of mine.
Love that. Was it Jordan Walker? No. Who? Deion Walker. Love Deion Walker.
D-line. Yeah, he was awesome.
Fan fave.
They had a couple really. Who?
Josh Allen.
Oh yeah, they've had a couple really good linebackers.
Here's a good question I have for you guys, maybe a fun one. What is more likely? A punter throws a pass in this game, or Mark Manfred has 5 tackles?
I'm going to go Mark Manfred only because if Kentucky is just flat out awful, you throw him in there. You get some rotation going.
Wow.
5 tackles for cornerback is a lot. That's why
it is.
Totally forgot Mark Manfred was a thing in this game. I'll go a punt thrown, honestly.
The guy I'll point out for Kentucky on defense transfer-wise, Elijah Barnes. He came over from Texas. I believe he was also rated as a 4-star in the portal as well. Played a little bit as a freshman, high-rated recruit. He will be one of their starting linebackers. So there's Kentucky, there's Georgia, and then last but not least, we have to end the regular season. Mizzou ends the regular season against a very intriguing team that is projected to finish 3rd by Phil Steele in the SEC. That is the Oklahoma Sooners. This game, November 28th. I wrote October by mistake. November 28th at either 2:30 or 3:30. So it'll be an afternoon kickoff at Memorial Stadium in Columbia, Missouri. There has been one classic and one absolute dud between these two teams. Payton, given Oklahoma, where are you leaning? More instant classic or another dud?
I almost feel like there's no way the game can be worse than last year. I will say, though, I mean, this Oklahoma defense, you look at our lads, it is all returners listed as starters. And it's not even just like a bunch of guys getting promoted. I mean, it's names you know. I mean, both the Bowen brothers are back. Reggie Powers is back. Kip Lewis. Everyone on that D-line, Taylor Wine, Jaden Jackson, David Stone is – there's a history with Mizzou, and you may I don't want to say I like David Stone, but I respect the hell out of how good he clearly is. Ade Adeborowe, he's another dude you'll remember. That defense alone sets, I think, a very easy – I'd be shocked if they didn't win 8 games floor. That's how good that defense is. The X factor for this team is the quarterback position and the offense as a whole. I mean, John Mateer held them back last year. I don't think I'm being unfair when I say that. They bring in Ben Arbuckle and John Mateer as a package deal from Washington State. A lot of big expectations, especially with that defense. Doesn't really pay off. I mean, they make the playoff. Yes, they host Alabama. They hosted Alabama, right? Pretty positive they hosted Alabama. Yep. They blow a massive lead, and you're left with a really bitter taste in your mouth. I mean, John Mateer last year, 14 touchdowns to 11 picks, 2,800 yards, just barely over 60% completion. He did tack on 431 yards and 8 touchdowns on the ground, but I think you need more than that from him. And Kenny looks like he's got something. He's rearing to say.
Have you not seen the photos of him, Payton? He looks shredded. You haven't seen
great.
This?
Can he throw the ball to not the other team?
That's the joke. Is like there's all these photos circling from the Manning Passing Academy and all these off-season camps and showcases to be around some NFL talent and former NFL guys, and Oklahoma fans are pointing out how big he is, and some people have to walk it back and tell you that it's not always about the physique and how you look. I mean, guys with dad bod are in the Hall of Fame. It just doesn't matter. I think this defense is the best one in college football, and I wanted to pull up the PFF grade.
That's bold. I do like this defense, but that's still
is that bold?
Take. I don't know. Well,
I thought I'm in the majority.
I don't know, to outright confidently state that they're the best. I think that is a little bold. I'm not necessarily disagreeing, but
I think this Oklahoma team is probably a consistent quarterback away, like we talked about Gunnar Stockton, from really just being in that conversation of those top 4 teams in the country, top 6, guys that teams that you could see as legitimate contenders for the national championship. I think this is a college football playoff team, but will we see Oklahoma take that next step? I think it was night and day last year of how much Oklahoma turned around. 2024 was not a good year for the Sooners. 2025, it felt like an entire different team. And when you talk about this game being more than a dud last year, I hate that this game is at the end of the season, because I think Mizzou's chances of really doing some damage or, possibly sneaking into a college football playoff if everything had gone well, I don't think those chances are very high. I wish this game was like maybe early November, like it has been in years past, where it can maybe swing something in one way, especially with the Mizzou team that has, a little bit better expectations than last year, as, wanting to make more of a run. I think by the end of it, Mizzou could have 2 losses, probably 3 losses by the end of the season.
They could have more than that.
Yeah, I think you're hoping, at least 2, but probably be in that 3 to 4 camp. We just don't know yet, but I just think this game won't have too big of an impact for Mizzou at the end of the day, because I do think this Oklahoma team does have an edge still on Missouri.
I have said this on the record before. I do not like Brett Venables, not personally. I'm not a fan of him as a coach. I do not think John Mateer is very good. That said, I think Kenny is right. If there is an argument to say John Mateer figures it out by this point at the end of the year, when it's not a great time for Mizzou to play Oklahoma. I think I'd rather catch them maybe a little bit early, and that defense just has so much continuity. And Payton, I'm going to throw it back to you, because I've got a list here of the top 10 defenses in college football. I'm going to give them to you in no particular order, and how about you order
top
them? We'll see how close. Just top 10 defenses in college football. Just this someone
On
else's
what
list.
metric?
It's just someone just listed them. It doesn't matter.
So somebody's list of the top 10.
Correct. It's
Okay.
Crane and Cone. I don't know if you trust them.
I
It's
don't know
first
them.
list I could find.
That's on 3.
There you go. On 3's list. I'm going to give you the top 5 in no particular order. Do you want to blind rank them?
Sure, I'll blind rank them.
All right.
I mean, I don't know enough about most of them, probably. So this is
Okay.
just going into this year.
Blind rank, yes. Top 5. These are all teams in their top 5, but you're going to recommend in theirs, and we're going to say
Okay.
you can blind
If you
rank them.
say
and we'll say
Oklahoma first, I'm going to be pissed.
Georgia.
2.
Notre Dame.
Damn it. 1.
Oregon.
4.
Oklahoma.
3.
And Texas.
5. I like Texas more than Oregon, I think. So that's tough. I probably would put Oklahoma 2, Georgia 3. Then I would keep Notre Dame at 1. Because Notre Dame has some stars in that secondary. But I'm not too dissatisfied with that, I guess.
Kenny's showing some good company loyalty. They have Georgia, Oregon, Texas, Notre Dame, and Oklahoma from 5 to 1 in that order. So they also say Oklahoma, the best defense entering 2026. Payton read some of the studs. Kip Lewis is leading the team in tackles and comes back. Like, there's just so many you can go through. I'm not very confident for Mizzou in this game. That said, like, they did bring both of their leading rushers back. That was not a great helper to John Mateer. Torrey Blaylock had 4.
I was going to touch on that in a minute.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I ragged on Mateer, and I think it's deserved. I don't think he had a good year, especially given what they did to get him. But in fairness, their running back room and really their running backs the last couple years have not helped them. Xavier Robinson and Torrey Blaylock were kind of their main guys, and neither one of them eclipsed 500 yards. Jade Knott was supposed to come in and be the guy, and that turned into the weirdest situation ever. He was such a stud at Cal, one of the best running backs in the nation. He left in the spring portal, which no longer even exists. I guess he was dealing with some sort of injury, and then he just never kind of worked his way in. Odd situation. We'll see if they're able to kind of get more out of that room this year, and a lot of that might come down to what the O-line looks like too. Our Lads has only one new starter coming in as a transfer. So it's 4 guys likely that have been in the system. But that room was less than inspiring last year.
The only other thing I will counter that's also playing in favor of Mateer, while the running backs are not good, they do have Isaiah Satania back, who had he had 900 yards, almost 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. And they got Parker Livingstone out of the portal from Texas. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
that's
I think there's some hard feelings there.
Yeah, I would probably guess.
Well, that was more of some hard feelings probably on Parker's side, because he had to tweet out.
It's both ways, to be honest.
Well, he had to tweet out that, I mean, there was reports too that he lost his spot on the team. Like, Texas moved on from him.
Right.
It wasn't just him leaving because he wanted to play somewhere else. He posted about it. I can try to find the tweet.
I think Sark said something about it at Media Days too, but I could be wrong. But I know you both are pretty confident Oklahoma's going to win this game, it sounds like. We're just leaning that way.
I wouldn't say confident, because, again, I do not trust Venables. I think that running back room is pretty terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I admittedly did not have the time to research Oklahoma's O-line compared to Georgia's, but
by the way, Oklahoma, Trell Harris from Virginia transferred in to Oklahoma. He, of course, played against Mizzou in the Gator Bowl. He might have been in the portal. I don't know if he played in that game. I don't remember. But
came from the team.
kind of that Virginia. I feel like there's a weird web of Virginia and Mizzou, but that's a episode for another time that'll never come out. I'll be honest. Obviously there's so much in the air with Mizzou. When is Ahmad Hardy going to come back? Is Austin Simmons even good? Can someone in the edge room step up and complement Darius Smith? Can Darius Smith even step up, be a more consistent run defender, and be an edge one? If I were picking right now, and we didn't give picks in Kentucky, by the way, I would pick Mizzou to beat Kentucky as of today.
Same.
I'm going to just say I think Mizzou will be good enough to at least spring one upset in this season, or upset. I will take Missouri to win this game for right now. I do think I don't like Mateer. I thought Oklahoma last year should have blown the doors off Missouri, quite frankly, and they really didn't.
Yeah, you talk about a Georgia team that felt never daunted by anything. I felt like the opposite for Oklahoma. They could be winning, and you'd be like, eh.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many. They had a horrible special teams mistake for Mizzou, which I'm not even going to relitigate. It was a terrible kicker and a terrible special teams coordinator combining to make that magic happen. Oklahoma made just a couple ridiculous third down conversions, and Missouri couldn't complete the big pass at the end to Kevin Goldman. That would have made it a whole different ball game. Not making excuses. Oklahoma, like I said, they were clearly the better team, but there's some things that give me pause about them this year, and it mostly has to do with their offense, and as Knowlton's mentioned, their coaching is a little shoddy to me, but who knows?
I'm not a fan.
Little shoddy could be taken a different way too. You could be talking about like girlfriend, little shoddy, you know?
Like short.
Like the word shoddy, yeah, like shoddy.
I know
I understand.
You could be taken a different way.
We both know what you meant. We just decided to stone face you to make you squirm.
One more big positive about this being the last regular season game, better chance Ahmad Hardy to be playing in it too. When Payton is talking about one of those being those upset games, I think you need Ahmad Hardy on the field in order to really pull that off as well. I have one last thing.
I bottled him up last year, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good defense. You know, we can continue to say that. I'll give you a couple quotes on Parker Livingston. The reason I said that is because I went back and I found it at the end of his entering the portal graphic. He said, "Never in a million years did I think I would be going into the portal, looking for a new home. Some things are out of my control, such as the reality of the ever-changing landscape of college football." And then there was a couple quotes. Payton mentioned Sarkisian at SEC Media Days. Said, "I hope we kick his ass. It's a Red River rivalry. He chose to go there. He's on the other side. That's the way the game goes." And then wide receivers coach Chris Jackson said this past spring, "It wasn't like we parted ways with ill will. I think they both found situations that benefit them," saying them as in DeAndre Moore Jr. as well. At the end of the day, it was kind of mutual.
Ooh, secret base.
I think there is hard feelings both ways there.
Yes, secret base, make the call. We need to.
By the way, Trell Harris did not play against Mizzou in the Gator Bowl, I don't think. At least he did not have any stats in that game that ESPN lists.
You know what? I'm going to go with Payton. Mizzou's going to win this game at home.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with that.
So I think I have Mizzou at 3-4.
For now. I'll make my final predictions when we do our last show.
I think I have Mizzou at 8-4 by my tally right now.
I'll make my picks when we get to the last game, but I'm going to go with that for now. At
the last game.
No. When we at the last show before the first game is what I meant to say.
Right. Well, I'll readjust and make a pick then, but
there you have it. Your games, final 3 to end the regular season for Mizzou, Georgia, November 14th at Sanford Stadium in the either afternoon or evening. Kentucky, November 21st. I think I said October 21st because I realized I wrote October for both Kentucky and Oklahoma on my script. And like Ron Burgundy, I will read anything on the prompter. Kentucky, November 21st, night game, either 5 or 7. That is in Columbia. And Oklahoma, November 28th, afternoon in Columbia at Memorial Stadium. And you maybe listening also from in Colombia or wherever else you are going to stick with the show and listen to us do quick hits where we have a couple other things to touch on. All right, quick hits time. We'll finish up the show. We've got jerseys of the week. Kenny, who's your jersey of the week?
My jersey of the week goes to former Missouri pitcher Bryce Mayer. The Astros promoted the right-handed pitcher to AAA this past week. He'll make his debut on Saturday. With the AA Corpus Christi Hooks, he had a 2.61 ERA, 100 strikeouts over 69 innings.
This one was made in the lab for you, Kenny.
It's true.
I'm also going to package in because I don't think anyone took it. And if someone took this one, congrats, Knowlton. You have to edit it out. Zach Franklin, another former Missouri pitcher.
I'm just kidding. No one took it.
Who is a prospect, was traded at the deadline. He was traded in a deal from the White Sox to the Mets in exchange for Huascar Brazoban.
There's your Mizzou prospect news. Can I ask you guys your quick opinion on the, is it St. Lucie Mets?
Port St. Lucie?
I think it's just St. Lucie.
Port St. Lucie.
No, it's St. Lucie. It's Port St. Lucie for where they play, but they're called the St. Lucie Mets.
I was having a conversation about a member of that team today. You guys proud of that? Cooper Schulte?
Oh, yeah. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he was the 600th pick in the MLB draft. Shout out to him. You can look him up on your own time. Payton, your jersey of the week.
My jersey of the week is going to go to a team I've never heard of because they don't even name it in the tweet.
Yes, they do.
But Front Office Sports.
Yes, they do.
Oh, yeah, they do. Sorry. Front Office Sports tweeted this. A Peruvian soccer club put 1,000 sponsors on one jersey. Deportivo.
Yeah.
Sold local sponsorships for roughly $60 each after relegation, generating enough revenue to help overcome its financial crisis. So I know, like, nobody really loves sponsorships on the jerseys, myself included. That's kind of neat. 1,000 of them to get out of relegation. That's kind of a neat idea. I don't think it looks that great, but, you know, I applaud them for trying it.
It looks like that logo game. Like there was one like growing up where it just had all these logos on a box, and then you'd get the logo and it'd be missing something, and the game was you had to guess what it was.
That's a good shout.
Also, this team is just called Sport City or City Sport City. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Deportivo just means sport, and the municipal is just a city. Sport City.
I don't know, man.
But Deportivo Municipal sounds cooler.
Take it up with Front Office Sports. They tweeted it. I saw it.
I'm going to take it up with the team. Go right to the source.
I completely agree, Payton. This is really cool. First of all, when you get relegated, no matter what level you're playing at, it can cost you a lot of money. So being creative to try and make yourself some money is very smart. Also, at levels like, in Peru and in South America, a lot of those jerseys have a ton of sponsors all over them anyway, and it looks really crowded and bad because you're trying to make a normal jersey with these big ads everywhere. So incorporating into the shirt is fun. I approve of this. I would get this kit.
Yeah, I don't know that it looks the best, but I
like it.
Again, I do applaud them for the effort. It's an interesting idea.
It looks like something out of the 90s. My jersey of the week, we're going to give it to Kobe Brown because I'm going to predict, and if for those who didn't see this tweet, this comes from the official NCAA March Madness account. They tweeted they're going to do a 3v3 tourney with teams selected by Andy Katz. Everyone on the Twitterverse is going to vote on all of the matchups. Missouri is in this. They are, shocker. Actually, it's not. This isn't funny because it'd be funnier if they were the 6 seed, but they are the 11 seed. They are playing Butler in the first round. So Andy Katz will pick 3 guys from the 21st century to make Mizzou's 3v3 team, and then you can vote them through the bracket. I have some names if you guys would like to pick the team. He has not picked one yet. He's done, I think, the first region so far. So as of today, he has not picked one.
Go ahead, fire away.
The names I wrote down just really quick before we started: Kobe Brown, Mark Mitchell, Michael Porter Jr., Jordan Clarkson, Kim English, Demoy Hodge, Kareem Rush, Damari Carroll. I'm sure there are some that I'm missing.
I think you're probably shorting from the early 2000s a bit, but
21st century. That's the only stipulation.
I know that's what I'm saying. I think you're probably missing some from that earlier era. Did Kareem Rush technically play in the 2000s?
Yes, I believe he was 2000, 2001, or 01, 02.
I feel like he's got to probably be on there.
Yeah.
That's tough. I feel bad because I didn't watch Mizzou when they were really good. So I'm kind of just guessing. I'll put Kim English on my team.
I kind of like Jordan Clarkson on there as a hot, like, this might be a little bit of a hot take, but like 3v3, you're going to have more guys going at you one-on-one. I feel like you need some good, like, one-on-one scorers, who can, like.
You're right. I'm going to go Kobe Brown.
Kobe Brown's a good one. He'd be on my team too. I'll go Clarkson, Kobe Brown, Michael Porter Jr. Versatility.
LOL.
I don't think MPJ should count, to be honest.
Went to the school.
He won't be on Cats.
What did they say on draft night?
They said Father Tolton.
Tralala, Shark.
That'd be fire. Anyway, we'll see what Andy Katz does. So keep a lookout for that, and I guess go vote. Butler, I did not bother to look at some names for them, to be honest. There was a lot of people
Gordon Hayward.
Gordon Hayward is the
Sheldon
only one I
Mack.
could write down.
Gordon Hayward again.
They had a big man that was pretty good on that title team.
Their second all-time leading scorer is a guy named Kellen Martin. He did play from 2014 to 2018, so he does count for this.
Huh.
So
Anyway,
Anyway.
no cap, he's the main bird.
Johnny's favorite of the week. Kenny.
Watch list season. Mizzou running back Ahmad Hardy was named to the Maxwell Award watch list. Honors the best all-around player in college football. No more Ahmad Hardy awards.
Kenny, did you not take? Are you kidding me?
What? Oh wow, this is not my main bird, is it?
Well,
What?
did you not take your guy? Literally your guy?
Oh, yeah. Well, what's up with that?
Let's let you try again. You
Yeah,
want to
so
try again? Try again.
I linked the wrong tweet to the doc, and then I went in and I just figured, I was probably talking about Ahmad Hardy, but I guess I was talking about LeBlanc is what I meant to have.
I would think so for you.
Okay. Well,
Look
Brett
at
LeBlanc.
you. Look at what we're looking at here.
Yeah. Read it for the people.
Brett LeBlanc, watch list season, named to the Patrick Manley Watch List Award, which is handed out to the best long snapper in college football, FBS, Division I.
Are we done with Brett LeBlanc awards?
No,
Yeah.
never.
got it.
This is the second one of the offseason.
I mean, the hype for him.
Aren't you hyped?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to talk to him. I didn't tell him that one of our last times at the rec as students, we passed by him. Like we were finishing up a basketball game and he was coming in to go play basketball with Blake Craig. You guys remember that?
I can't believe you even remember that.
Why wouldn't I? That was crazy. There were two specialists that enrolled early. Like that's nuts. We walked right past him.
I no, I don't remember. Don't have any recollection.
Don't remember that? It was in the big courts, like the biggest area of the rec. Walked right
I
past
love
him.
that you're just so excited that they enrolled early.
Was this before or after someone?
He enrolled early as a walk-on. He did not even have a scholarship when he enrolled early. It's dedication.
Do you think he has one now?
Oh, yeah, he does. He earned it after his freshman year.
That's good. Good for Brett.
Yeah.
All right, do you think he's better than Trey Flint? Jake Kotz?
Jack Kotz, BS.
Jake Kotz?
Jack.
Classic Jake Kotz.
Something he would do, lie about his
Trey
name.
Flint.
Huge for Kenny. Kenny said 2.
We might be the first podcast to ever say that name. Both of those names.
Trey Kotz.
Trey Flint. No, we talked about
Trey Kotz and Jake Flint.
definitely the first podcast to say those two names. These have been 2 all-time quick hits for Kenny, and he's not. I don't think he appreciates him enough. Payton, who's your main bird?
My main bird of the week is Luther Burden. I totally forgot to look up a bird connection.
Well, he went to East St. Louis. They're the
East
Flyers.
St. Louis, the Flyers.
Use all the ones you've used for Luther Burden in the past. Luther Bird.
Bird.
Come on. Wake up.
There's a lot of talk about left wing and right wing. Birds need 2 wings to fly.
I forgot about that.
Luther Burden. If you haven't seen, the Bears tweeted this on Twitter, X, the everything app. All happens on X. Luther Burden was walking out of training camp practice. He saw a fan that had a Mizzou glove, and he made like a big deal. He like pointed it out to the admin, like, I gotta sign MIZ. Mizzou tweeted it. That's awesome. That's like something I made up in my head that happened in real life. So Luther Burden showing love. By the way, he is having like an incredible training camp. So not really surprised because he is literally the greatest player ever. But
He stunted on a tackling dummy.
no, he blocked a tackling dummy and then flexed on it.
Stunted. Yeah, he stunted on him.
I'm not shocked either. I also think that's like perfect encapsulation of Luther Burden. He stunts on whoever he wants and whatever he wants.
He has passion during drills.
He's just always locked in. It has been.
Jaden Higgins had that same fire.
It's been very fun. I spewed a lot of. I spew a lot of Luther Burden propaganda.
1 second, Jack. You say that like I wanted Jaden Higgins. You say that like I knew who Jaden Higgins was before he was drafted. I have no idea who Jaden Higgins was before he was drafted.
You know what?
I
got the reaction I was looking for. So
yeah, congrats.
If only Zach was here, he'd be. Yeah, Luther Burden's pretty cool. Yeah, by the way, Mizzou football, like the Mizzou football community was like all over this. Like I think Drink quote tweeted it. No surprise there.
We show love here in the Mizzou football community. My main bird of the week is going to be Aidan Shaw, the former Boston College Eagle, bird connection. He is in the portal after being granted a 5th year of college eligibility, and I just it just makes me feel so old to hear that Aidan Shaw had to be granted a 5th year of college eligibility. I wrote a feature about Aidan Shaw when he was a recruit at Mizzou.
I remember a kid asked Dennis when Dennis came to a little like mini presser for students at the student center. Someone asked him about Aidan Shaw, and he's like, I can't say anything about him. He did say, I'm hoping to put out a bat signal later, but.
Yeah, it's just insane that he's in his 5th season. Best thing you learned?
Best thing I learned this week comes from Akron football.
By way of me, by the way. By way of me.
I learned about this.
No, I don't. Do I even need to be here? Because you guys are just going to take a shot at me. I feel like that's what this is. I feel like it's very Kenny Day.
I actually was not thinking about this. I was not thinking about that. But was that tweet good?
Got like 3 likes. No one got it. You were 2 of the likes.
Oh, it had more than 3 likes.
It's an inside joke, and it's not the KCOU airwaves. For those that have not seen, I'm shocked because everybody has seemingly seen this. This tweet has this X post has 21.8 million views. Akron football tweeted, "You can be the offensive coordinator of the game. One lucky fan will be able to script the opening drive in our home opener. Extra chance to win with every new season ticket holder you refer. A random drawing among season ticket holders is how this will be selected, and the drawing will be held on August 19th. This is, without a doubt, the dumbest thing that you could possibly... Like, I swear, I almost think it's like a way to just, like, show how, like, not in tune with like the modern with like actual plays and stuff average fan is, because Akron's head coach is Joe Moorhead, who's like an actual offensive savant. I cannot believe that they're actually going to let a fan script. I doubt they're actually calling the plays, but like script, they're putting together the plays for their opening drive of the season, allegedly. If I were putting together 3 plays, I'm doing HB dive, end around, 5 wide punt, because I will have a 4th and 25 by the end of my drive.
What if there's a quarterback competition going on for Akron in week 1?
I think they actually have an established starter.
Okay. But like, what if you call for the backup to go in and just run a QB run up the middle?
Oh my gosh. There's logistically like 100,000 things in my head that could go wrong doing this.
It does say in the fine print down there with the head coach, of course, this hasn't been done before, but we're not crazy.
Okay. That is good, but I still like, so I guess a fan can't be like, yeah, we're going to like do a little HB toss and he's immediately going to go back and throw it. Like, guys, Joe Moorhead's probably going to be like, no. But
if I'm not mistaken, didn't Akron sell out? They sold out something.
Yeah, they did. I think they sold out their suites, I saw.
Yeah.
So this is my worry, what you're scrolling past.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, it's kind of been ruined. Like, it's now just a bunch of celebrities trying to get it. That's lame.
My worry is they're going to cave and it's just going to be some media.
Like, it's just going to be Barstool Big Cat. Like, no offense, I don't want Barstool Big Cat to be the one that wins this.
I don't either. I want it to be a fan, like a true rando.
Just like an actual Akron
Akron
season
fan.
ticket holder. Like, if you're going to actually do this.
Yeah. So, I mean,
man, are you serious?
The graphics.
Let's not even give that the time of day.
He'll find us. Yeah, the graphics are funny, but I hope this actually goes to a fan. I just hope they don't cave and just give it to some personality.
I mean, props to Joe Moorhead if he's actually, because he is a legit offensive mind.
He went on ESPN to talk about it.
Props to him for being down for this. So it'll be interesting. I think it's so funny that this is being attempted. I imagine like whoever came up with this idea, like in their athletic department, is a genius because it got every eyeball in the world on them, and they sold a lot of tickets. It seems like so.
It'll be helpful too that, I didn't even know this because good thing Jack pointed this out because I didn't even see that down there at the bottom with the head coach, of course.
I'm
sure it's like a 30-minute hour Zoom at the most, just talking it over with Moorhead, and he'll give you a set of plays. He says, pick through these, and this is what we're going to do, and you can always say that you did the first drive. Also, my last thing on this, Robert Morris, man, this sucks. This feels so bad for them.
And I score a touchdown. Robert Morris should fold as a football.
What happens if the person who does this gets all the plays figured out, contacts Robert Morris, and just hands it to them? Like, there is a world where you pick the wrong person and that person does this. Like, if I'm a Robert
Morris super fan.
That's so genius. That's so genius. And you call into Paul Feinbaum. You know what I did? I posed as an Akron fan, and I stole them plays,
I gave the Colonials them plays, Paul.
I stole them plays, Paul.
I don't know if we should be joking about trees dying, man.
Why? Because
why do they call it War Eagle again?
Don't ask.
It'll never make sense.
It'll never make sense. This will be. We'll see how this goes. I hope they're actually on the sidelines, and I hope it's a real fan.
Robert Morris has the biggest bulletin board material.
They should have Kobe, or not Kobe. They should have Caleb Brown come out for that game. That's so neat. Did he go there? Didn't he transfer to Robert Morris?
I know, but what is he going to do?
I don't know. Just get the guys going.
He'll be the Robert Morris defensive coordinator.
Well, I got us a bunch of likes on Twitter recently because the best thing I learned this week is that Mizzou has 2 sellouts already for the 2026 season. Homecoming against Florida on October 3rd, and then Texas on November 7th at home. So 2 home sellouts.
Everybody with me on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you,
Kansas State.
Did we say that in unison?
Yeah, we got close.
Okay.
We'll do it next time too.
Yeah, there will be a bunch more because they're so great and loyal and nice.
Yeah, I got to get my homecoming tickets. I know that they say sold out, but I got to get my ticket.
The graphic is so dark.
Yeah, Knowlton's going to homecoming too.
Maybe they're hoping for a night game.
No,
I think it is a night game, isn't it?
No, I think it's a flex.
Is it one of those flex games?
Yeah.
I will not be there. I'll be watching, hopefully.
You'll be at the game.
My best thing I learned this week: Mizzou football now a national champion, according to the Senate. By unanimous consent, the Senate passed a resolution to recognize the 1960 University of Missouri Tigers football team for its undefeated regular season Orange Bowl victory and its claim to the 1960s national championship. There is also, I believe, Eli Hoff, shout out to him, tweeted the video of Eric Schmidt talking about it. I think Laird Veach has actively said he
said they're not doing
care
it.
about this.
We're trying to win our own national championship.
Yeah. I just threw it on there because I thought it was. I checked this account 5 times to be like, is this true? Is this just a weird
weird ass parody?
Yeah. So hang the banner, put the letters on the bubble letters on the press box.
I don't think this really means anything because until Missouri does something, I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
Let's take a poll, little straw poll. Should Missouri claim this? What do you two think?
I vote yes. Can I explain my vote for yes after?
Yes. Kenny, what do you think?
Explain yours real quick. I'm going to look through the schedule and see if I agree.
So I believe this would take the title as recognized by the NCAA away from Minnesota, and I am all for that. That is my reasoning.
From what I saw, there's 4 teams that claim it currently. I think Iowa, Washington, Minnesota, and someone else. I forget who AP number 1 is. I think AP number 1 is someone else. I'm kind of in the camp of yes, just because why not? Missouri's probably never going to win one again. Why not just say you won one? Everybody claims them. You can claim it. What's the harm? Who's it hurting?
There's definitely more shameless claims.
Yeah. Missouri has a legit claim. The one game they lost, an ineligible player played. So
there you go.
7-0 or 11-0, 7-0 in conference. 4 wins over top 25 teams. Beat number 4 Navy in the Orange Bowl, 21-14. Sure. Also, just something crazy I just thought about just with time because I never really thought about this. People that were going to Missouri at this time were born during World War II. Isn't that crazy to think?
Not really, but
I don't know why. Just in my mind, it's crazy to think anyone that went to college in the 60s was born during World War II.
Wait, Kenny, know that? Well, yes, they were.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they were. I guess.
An 18-year-old would have been born in 1942. Something I thought about.
Kenny, you know that story you told about Jack humiliating you?
Yeah, he just did it again.
I think he actually just did it.
Mizzou won a game. Mizzou's opening game of the season was against SMU at home.
That's awesome.
Oklahoma State, Penn State, Air Force, Kansas State,
Yeah,
Iowa State,
SMU was
Nebraska,
cool then.
Colorado, Oklahoma, Kansas. Kansas was homecoming.
That was
November
pre-death
19th.
penalty SMU.
Yeah, and they cheated.
Oh my gosh. The time between the Orange Bowl and the final game of the season, November 19th to January 2nd.
They played the Orange Bowl in November?
Sorry, January. No, November 19th for
It was
the
the last regular
Kansas
season game. He missed.
Oh.
Sorry. And then January 2nd for the Orange Bowl.
God, the Orange Bowl would be so cool to see Missouri playing today. Too bad that'll never happen.
What a crazy schedule. We'll never get that anymore.
Yep.
All right, best beats of the week. Kenny, why don't you go first?
My best beat of the week. I got the wrong date on here. It's supposed to be the 13th. I'm going to take Bills -1.5 against the Texans on September 13th.
We're already starting this.
My mom has been talking about this game. She's trying to get tickets from work to go because we don't know yet, but Ian Wheeler is on the Bills right now through training camp and through the preseason. Hopefully, if he sticks around, he'll get to play in his hometown. One of his hometowns, originally from Louisiana as well, but went to high school in Houston, and get to play against the Texans. So I'm going to take Bills -1.5. If Ian Wheeler's on that team, I can't root against Ian Wheeler.
Very nice.
It's a win-win.
He's been on the show, and we were all here for that.
No.
I am also going NFL Week 1. I'm going to
trifecta. Fine.
September 9th. The Patriots and Seahawks open the season in a Super Bowl rematch. I'm going to take the Seahawks by 4.
Oh.
I'm sorry, they're -3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying Hard Knocks. The first episode was fun. There was some good.
I haven't seen it, but
there's some good Jadarian Price content in there.
I think the Patriots are due for some regression. They obviously have a interesting saga with their head coach.
What happened?
The Seahawks are better. I think you know what happened.
Oh boy. I will make it a trifecta on NFL Week 1. I'm gonna go a little underdog here. Give me also on September 13th, Kenny. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers +3.5 over the Cincinnati Bengals on the road. I think there's some crazy stat about the Bengals losing like early in the season. So I'll go the Bucs. In a weird AFC North, NFC South.
This guy has a Joe Burrow shirt.
I do. I like Joe Burrow.
I
like Joe
yeah,
Burrow.
I like Joe Burrow too because it's still 2023.
You know who I don't like is Zach, what's his face, from their coach. I don't like their coach.
Taylor,
thank you. So there you go. Week 1, football is almost upon us.
Because Zach Taylor's the one on the field making the mistakes.
Zach Taylor is the one that keeps getting sacked 50 times.
It's definitely all Joe Burrow's fault.
I don't know, man. He's making how much money? Anyways, we're going to go to joke. This one comes from our favorite TV series, The Today Show. Guys, got a bit of calendar humor for you here today. Question. Can February March?
No, but May can.
Nope. Almost.
Oh, what?
No, but may it?
Guys are right there.
Wait, why did I think I was right? Mine makes no sense. You could.
It's definitely something May related.
It is something May related. Do you guys want one more guess?
Wait. Say the first part again.
Guys, can February March?
No, May, April, March.
Oh, God. You're right there. You're right.
No, May.
Come on. Think about it.
No, just tell us. Just tell us.
No, May, January?
No, you're going backwards. Okay.
No, May, June?
No. God, stop. Can February March? No, but April, May.
Yeah, we were really dancing around that.
You're dancing all around it.
I said no, but May can. Like that was the right. You could have said no, but September can, and it would have been the same thing.
When's your birthday? March 1st. Now tell me. I'm marching for those that can't see.
Bonus joke. Stop stealing Sarah's flow. Thank you, everybody, for watching, listening. We have position previews next. We're going to talk about the quarterbacks and make our first bold takes of the position groups for 2026. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to relive the 2025 ones. Look at it. I'm rubbing my hands eagerly like an evil supervillain. Go see the Odyssey if you haven't, or the new Spider-Man. That's my last advice to you. And thank you, everyone, for watching and listening. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.